we get to show our kids what it looks like to have a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
We also get to show them what it looks like to have healthy relational aspect around mealtime.
Welcome to the Stronger Families podcast, where we believe that strong families produce strong cultures. I'm Emily Free, one of your hosts, and today you're going to hear from real people with real stories and God-centered wisdom to help strengthen your family. Whatever season you're in, we believe that this is going to encourage you. So let's build stronger families together. Welcome back to the Stronger Families podcast.
Yep.
Angela here.
Again.
I'm not Angela. This is Angela.
Me.
I am Emily.
I am Angela.
I am hosting today the wonderful Angela Kruse.
Angela.
What's your middle name?
Justine.
Justine.
Thank you.
AJ. We're going to call her AJ.
I was AJ for a long time.
I think this will be the most unhinged podcast
For
because
sure.
our husbands are not here to
They are the
keep us in
consistent,
line.
steady
And so we'll see what happens.
party.
Today we're talking about how to feed the fam.
Feeding the fam.
Feed the fam. We're talking about mealtime.
Yep.
Oh, I remember I've struggled with this a lot.
Yeah.
And there was a time, a few years ago, we had a snowstorm coming.
Oof.
And one of my close friends texted me prior and was like, hey, I'm just making sure that you have more than LaCroix and noodles in your pantry because...
How dare you? And no, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt very seen in that moment, though, because I'm not skilled,
Yeah.
or I used to say, right, this isn't my gifting.
You've had to grow. You've had to grow in your intentionality.
Well, because then came the children, and it's like they have to eat, and somebody's got to feed them.
Every mealtime.
Every meal
And
time.
snacks in between. It's a
snacks.
full-time job.
Snacks are life.
It is.
Snacks are life.
They love it.
So, yeah, I think I would love to start with the question just... Why do we have intentionality behind mealtime?
Yeah.
Like what does that look like? Why is that important?
Yes.
What are your overall thoughts?
There's so much behind this.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big things that we talked about is we get to show our kids what it looks like to have a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
We also get to show them what it looks like to have healthy relational aspect around mealtime. And how is that going to look like? Because it's so much more than even food in these meal times.
Yeah.
We're teaching structure. We're having conversation around our dinner table.
Yeah.
We are, we take turns, we listen actively. We're having all of those conversations around the mealtime as well.
Right.
Food just happens to be,
it's a part of it.
It's a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the main character. And so it's a big deal. We need intentionality, and I think that hopefully we'll kind of get down to some very logistical things. And again, the whole thought behind this podcast is what are a couple things we can take away?
That we can
how could we be a little bit more intentional behind mealtime, food, looking at our relationship with food.
Yeah.
All of
I think that's the biggest challenge is as you're raising kids, you want them to do something. However, what if you're not, you have to be held to the same standard you're holding your kids to.
Isn't that parenting? Like the Lord is working in us on our journey as we are. It's the whole thing.
Showing us all the, the logs in our eyes?
Yes.
And all the logs.
Yes. So many areas of growth.
So let's talk practically about food.
Yep.
What does that look like? Meal planning.
Yes.
For you specifically, how do you do that?
Some things that have been very helpful to me. I have just a note section in my phone of our go-to meals. And we've had different, and each family will have different, we're gluten-free, we're dairy-free, our kids love this, whatever. We're trying to be more intentional about veggies. So whatever your go-to meals are, I have about 20 to 30 in a notes section. And each beginning of the week, I will look at that section and be like, okay, what are 6 or 7 meals here that I would like to do this week?
Yeah.
I get the food for those meals, and then I don't have Monday I'm going to make this. If you want to, you can. If you want to meal prep at the beginning of the week, any of those is fine. That takes intentionality.
Right.
But that's what's working for us, and I can be like, okay, Monday, let me look at. I have the things to make these meals. Yeah. What do I feel like, or what's going to work with our schedule today? And so I think it's really helped me. First of all, we all know the grocery shopping situation. And if you get in there without a plan, I know me, I'm like, so shiny in here, and maybe I need lipstick. And it's like the random things, but it keeps me on track. Yeah. And then I get home and I'm like, I bought all this stuff and I don't actually have meals here. Yes. And so it's just kept me on track. So that's been very helpful and added some intention behind my meals.
So what do you do a lot? I know we're in the season, it's T-ball season.
Yes.
Games are at 6, we arrive at 5:30. Yes. How do you navigate that with extracurriculars? How do you feed the fam on those times?
Yes. So, I have some, especially summer, kind of spring, summer, quick meals. Yeah. Quick meals. And we know how important it is. Like, you can't get I can't get myself to somewhere at dinner time and then be like, I'm going to function all through dinner. We might not get home till 8 o'clock. We're not doing that. Yeah. So we do a lot of early dinners and we just make it happen before. Yeah. Sometimes I know a good friend of mine, we just went out and did some farm time, and she brought like the snackle boxes that are so popular. And you can put in, the proteins, and you can put some really great snacks in there. Yeah. Maybe you bring that, and on the way you say, get your proteins in, get some veggies in, then we're getting something in our system. Right. So I understand that we're not necessarily going to have some nights where it's not like everyone gather around the table. Yes. It's just going to happen. Yeah. But as much as we can to stay consistent in that area, I think is huge.
Hot take. We did not talk about this before.
Great.
So get ready.
Here it is, off the cuff.
Pro kids table. What's the opposite of pro? Anti kids table. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we do integrated everything. And so I understand. I see sometimes maybe if you have guests over and you need to kind of separate, that's fine. Right. Like we talked about at the beginning, we're teaching our kids the relationship around food. We're teaching our kids conversation during this time. Yeah. If they're separated from us, we're just going to get less of those lessons during the mealtime. So it's such a great built-in space that's already going to happen. Everyone needs to eat. Let's all sit down and gather and let's make this a teaching moment. Let's make this relational. Let's make this a family moment. Yeah. And so I think it's just such a great already built-in thing. Yeah,
that's good. Thanks for letting me throw that at
you. Yeah.
Something that we do, I mean, this is very, very simple. And I mean, we have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 2 twin babies. Wow. And so we're not just like having these really deep, amazing conversations. Yep. It's very kid-friendly and chaotic and a hot mess, to be frank. But the one thing that grounds us that we do every single night, and it's fun because when people come over, they do it with us. Yeah. And people who have come over a few times, they know that this is coming. But we just simply ask. Denver likes to start. He's the firstborn. He's like, I'm going to start it. And he asks. So if you were sitting down, he'd say, Angela, what was the best part of your day? Yes. And then you would say something simply that was the best part. And then you get to pick who goes next. Yes. And it's just intentional. Yep. And it's small, but it's teaching them that conversational piece, like you said. Yep. And I think it just helps us to know. We all look forward to it when we sit down. Whereas if we didn't have anything, I think we'd just be like, when is this going to be over? This is crazy.
Yeah, and we have something similar. Yeah, we do it. And if we miss it, the kids are like, let's do our highs and lows. Yes. Yeah. So I think it's just one of those things that you can add in, and you get to brainstorm with your spouse and be like, what's going to be good for our family? Yeah. How is this something fun? You can come up with your own. You can ask people who are already doing it. Yeah. I just think it's such an opportunity for us to connect with the family. Yeah.
Okay, so we've all been here. Mm-hmm. Well, if you haven't, you're going to at some point. But I was here last night. We cooked an amazing, healthy dinner. Yes. We sit down to eat. Mm-hmm. We've been doing a lot of outside dinners, actually, because it's so nice. Yes. But my kids eat like 2 bites, and they're like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I want to get down and they don't get down unless they say, well, they're supposed to. Mommy, can I get down, please? Yes. And I'm like, no, you haven't eaten anything. Mm-hmm. And there's this refusal to eat dinner. Yeah. How do we navigate that? Do we fight them and we're like, you will not leave this table until all of your food is done? Or do we say, I'm going to pick my battles, and if you're hungry, if you're hungry, you'll eat.
Sure.
And whatever.
Yes. So I don't think that there can be a here's what you do. Mm-hmm. But I will say, whatever you choose as a family, you and your spouse have to be on the same page. Yeah. You have to talk about it beforehand and say, what are our convictions behind this? Yeah. How are we going to play this out? Yeah. What will the rules be? Yeah. Because you know how this goes with children. Yeah. If there's a chink in the armor, if there's a little weakness, they're like, oh, I see. Dad won't let but Mom. And so they'll snake around and figure it out. And so being on the same page, and then holding that line wherever you guys decide that is, and being consistent about it. Yeah. For us, we know our kids. We know a reasonable portion for them. We know kind of what they've been eating throughout the day and what the snacks were looking like. And I'll give a very, very reasonable portion. And then they are expected to eat what's on the plate. Yeah. We've had many a night where we have sat at the table. And, you know, Aaron will tell you that was one of the greatest gifts that his parents gave him, is just because he would say that he was very particular about food, and that this principle really instilled in him, I appreciate food. I'm going to love all kinds of different food. I'm going to, and it's, again, you'll have to kind of weigh this out, and because we do want them to have a healthy relationship with food. This is not force feeding. This is not like then they're going to sit down and have all this. That's not what that's not at least how we have seen that play out. Yeah. It's actually played out in they just have a healthier relationship. Yeah. They are more intentional at meals about eating as opposed to the snacking, because any child would love to snack throughout the entire day.
Any adult.
And then meals.
Any adult.
Amen. Like this is a learned behavior. It's a skill to have this. Yeah. And so to be able to be like, meals are the most important. And anytime our children start to kind of waver or struggle in that area, we'll just kind of casually mention, you know, that if we have issues with mealtime, we'll have to reconsider our snacks and what we're getting and when those are being given. And it's pretty immediate. Like it's pretty funny how it's like,
I've never thought about that, the give and take of snack and mealtime, and that being the most important.
Because we talk about, listen guys, your meals are where you're going to get the bulk of your energy to be able to do what you're supposed to do. And so if you can't have that because of the snacking, which are less important, we're gonna have to pull back on those. And they're like, no, there's no need for that sort of talk. We will get it together. It's really amazing how quickly they jump back on. And so we hold a strong line. Again, that's a conviction that both Aaron and I have. And so I think whatever you guys agree on, being consistent with it, and then it is worth it. It is worth it in the long run for them to have a healthy relationship in that area.
So do you make your kids a separate meal, or do they eat whatever?
Absolutely not. And you know, I mean, we have 5 children.
I mean, that's what, you guys have a lot of kids.
That is a conviction, and that has been since the beginning, where I said, whoa, all these children, we're not going to do that. Yeah. We're going to have, and you know, the kids will say something like, I don't like this. And our response is generally, it doesn't have to be your favorite.
But I've watched you guys, and we use that now too, because they'll be like, I don't like these. And last night it was the zucchinis that were in the rice dish. And they're like, I don't like these. I'm like, these aren't my favorite.
Yes, these aren't my favorite, but we'll eat them. Yeah. Because they're good for us. And you develop the taste for some things. It's not like we all started out and loved asparagus and you know, even broccoli or Brussels sprouts or whatever. Right. But there is a growing in, and our body craves what we feed it. Yeah. And so we're firm believers in that. And so the more that we're eating really good things for us, my parents were huge. I mean, we had vegetables with every meal. They tried a lot of different variety. And so I grew up really enjoying vegetables and a variety of them. Yeah. And I just think we can give that gift to our children as well.
So speak to the mom who this is not how they operate. It's far from how they operate.
Yep.
They do chicken nuggets
Sure.
and mac and cheese for
Sure.
their kids.
Yes.
Because it's easy.
Absolutely.
And you know, and we've been there many times where we've done the convenient
Yes.
over the
For sure.
hard, you know. And so speak to that. How would you encourage, empower, equip the mom who says, you know what, I have a desire on the practical food side,
Yes.
to make the meals more intentional,
Yes.
to start training my kids in this way,
Yep.
but it's far from where we've been.
Sure.
What would you say?
I think just the invitation, what's a step or two
Yeah.
that I can take?
Yeah.
And so I think very easy rules that you could come up with, or guidelines
Yeah.
more of, that you're going to follow.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a veggie to each of our lunch and dinners. That
Yeah.
could be canned carrots. That
Yeah.
could be canned green
Yeah.
beans. Like, very easy.
Right.
We're not talking you have to be in there like sauteing and we're like, you know, doing the,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be complex.
Yeah.
But how can we just slip a veggie in there? Could we do a smoothie? You know, I love smoothie o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
We could
Smoothie
do a
o'clock.
smoothie and we could slip in
Yeah.
some spinach or things that they won't even know necessarily are there.
Yeah.
I do love that idea, but I also love this idea of them knowing exactly what it is that they're taking in and growing to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then they know, like, no, in my palate, or when I look at food,
Yeah.
this is okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think of the foods that I send with the little boys to preschool,
Yeah.
and, you know, I'm sure Obi gets the looks with the broccoli, but him being like, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he has
That's awesome.
learned and been grown and taught,
Yeah.
you know, this is something that we
Yeah.
enjoy and we have regularly. And so even if it's one step in that area, okay, yes, I can add veggies to each meal.
Yeah.
I can maybe spend 5 minutes at the beginning of the week and maybe put a little more intentionality behind meals.
Yeah.
I could come up with, okay, let's do this. Because I think that it can be so reactionary. We are so busy.
Yeah.
We carry
Oh, yeah.
so much on our schedule. We have so much on the agenda. But if we put just a little bit of time, 5 minutes, we could say, okay, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I could do, here's what it is, very easy. We can do this. And then we have a plan.
Yeah.
And so I think that that could bring a lot
good.
of hope, and I think you get excited as you get more momentum.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what are the further steps
Yeah.
that I could be taking? So I think the invitation would be one or two.
One or two. And
Yeah.
I love the education piece where you guys are teaching the kids, this is what you're taking in, this is how it affects your body.
Absolutely.
We've been, you know, trying to do similar. We're
Yes.
we're learning too. you
Sure.
know. And
Yes.
we've been telling the kid, you know, this is your protein, like this is what
Yes.
makes your muscles strong.
Yes.
And the other night, Denver was like, yeah, he was telling Eliza, yeah, sister girl, this is what's going to make you strong. He was like, because I eat it and I'm going to be strong enough to beat daddy up. And I was
Sure.
like, oh,
If that's
okay,
the motivation, you know, whatever it takes.
Whatever.
He's like, one day
One day, I'm gonna
with
beat-
these strong
yeah.
arms,
Been
I
eating
take
the
my father
protein.
down. But it is, yeah, food is medicine. Like,
Yeah.
that's very much what we believe, that
Yeah.
God gives us food
Yeah.
so that we can be who we're called to be and
Yeah.
do the things we're called. So it's our culture has just made it into something so much more.
Yeah.
And so just coming back to the basics of what is food meant for, and it has all sorts of different
Yeah.
capabilities,
Yeah.
and it's there to serve us.
Yeah.
Like, we don't serve food sort of thing. So
Ooh, say that again. That's so good. Okay, well, we always have a weekly challenge.
yes,
So you feel like we covered everything we needed to?
I do. I think that was a good, yeah.
What would you say would be the weekly challenge for this week?
I think we kind of hit on it already. Yes, specific to the areas of how do I add a veggie in or whatever, but
Yeah.
just what are one or two steps that I could take to just be more intentional?
Yeah.
If they haven't had a conversation with their spouse about, hey, what is mealtime going to look like?
Yeah.
What are the things that we're going to stand firm on? Like,
Yeah.
what's going to be our line? When is it too much? When do we get to
Yes.
pull back, sort of thing? So I think having that conversation, and then one or two things that, you know, they can just be more intentional
Yeah,
about.
we can all be more intentional. and
Absolutely.
Take this step.
We all have room to grow in this area.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for sharing.
Love it.
Thank you for joining us on the Stronger Families podcast. If today's episode encouraged you, share it with another family who could use it. And remember that when God strengthens you, He strengthens your family. So let's keep building stronger families together.